Right now, in this very moment, you can change the room you're living in without moving a single piece of furniture. And I don't mean the room made of walls and windows. I mean the room inside your mind, the atmosphere inside your heart, the tone your body is holding. That inner room is where you live most of your life, sweetheart. And you have more say there than you may have ever been told. Take a slow breath with me, just one. And notice what happens when you give yourself that tiny bit of attention. You may feel a softening, or you may feel resistance. Either one is okay. Either one is just information. You see, most of us were taught to wait for life to change first, and then we'll feel better. When the job improves, then I'll relax. When the relationship works out, then I'll be happy. When my body changes, then I'll love myself. When the money comes, then I'll feel safe. But life doesn't really work that way. Not because you're doing it wrong, not because you're not trying hard enough, but because the point of power is always in the present moment. And the present moment is the only place you can choose a new thought. And when you choose a new thought, you change your feeling. When you change your feeling, you change how you speak, how you move, how you respond, how you interpret everything. And over time, life begins to respond differently to you because you are meeting it from a different place. That is what people mean when they talk about vibration. Vibration is not something mysterious out in the sky. It's the emotional atmosphere you're breathing inside yourself. It's the frequency of your self-talk. It's the tone underneath your words. It's the way you treat yourself when nobody is watching. It's the story you repeat in your mind like a familiar song. And sometimes the song you've been taught to sing is a sad one, a fearful one, a not enough one, a something is wrong with me one. And if that's the song you've been singing, I want you to know something important. You are not bad. You are not broken. You are not behind. You simply learned certain thoughts, and this is only a thought, and a thought can be changed. Now, the title says, the vibration that changes everything instantly. And I want to be very tender with that word instantly, because we don't want to turn this into another pressure you put on yourself. When I say instantly, I don't mean your whole world must rearrange in 1 second. I mean your inner world can soften in one breath. You can go from tight to a little more open, from panic to a little more steady, from harshness to a little more kindness, from I can't to I'm willing. That shift is instant, and it matters because every great change begins with a tiny inner turning. Think of a radio, an old radio with a dial. When you're just a little off station, all you hear is static. It's noisy, uncomfortable, and you can't quite make out the music. You might think the radio is broken. You might think this is just how it is. But the radio isn't broken. It's only not tuned. And what do? You don't throw it away. You don't punish it. You don't argue with it. You simply turn the dial just a little until the music comes through. Your inner world is like that. Your vibration is like that. And you can learn to turn the dial with love. Now, many people think the way to raise their vibration is to force themselves to be positive all the time. They try to smile while they're hurting. They try to say everything is great while their stomach is in knots. And then they feel like a failure when it doesn't work. Let's be very gentle and honest. The fastest way to raise your vibration is not forcing positivity. It's ending the war with yourself. Because self-attack is a very low vibration. Harshness is heavy. Shame is heavy. Condemnation is heavy. And you don't lift heavy by pushing harder. You lift it by setting it down. So today, I want to offer you a different approach, a kinder approach, a real approach. We are going to learn the vibration that changes everything. And that vibration is the vibration of self-kindness, not pretend happiness, not spiritual performance, not perfection. Self-kindness. It sounds simple, doesn't it? And that's why it's so powerful. The mind is always looking for a complicated answer. The mind says, It has to be hard, it has to be dramatic, it has to take years. But the heart knows. A single loving thought can change the whole day. I know this to be true. I have seen it in so many people, and you can feel it for yourself. Let's explore why we struggle with this. Many of us grew up in environments where love felt conditional. Maybe nobody meant to hurt you. Often, people are doing the best they can with what they know. But perhaps you learned that you were praised when you were pleasing, and ignored when you had needs. Perhaps you were loved when you achieved, and criticized when you made mistakes. So you learned to manage yourself. You learned to monitor yourself. You learn to correct yourself. You learn to be hard on yourself, thinking it would keep you safe. And now, as an adult, you may find that the harsh voice inside you feels normal. It feels like me. It feels like reality. It feels like just being honest. But that voice is not truth. That voice is conditioning. Truth is softer, truth is steady, truth doesn't scream, truth doesn't punish, truth guides, and your inner wisdom knows you do not heal through punishment. You heal through love. Now, I want you to notice something in your body. Just notice, without trying to change it yet. When you think about your biggest worry right now, maybe it's your money, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's your health, maybe it's your future. Maybe it's simply this feeling of heaviness you can't explain. As you bring it to mind, where do you feel it? Is it in your chest, your throat, your belly, your shoulders, your jaw? Just notice, because your body is always listening to your thoughts. Your body is honest. Your body is wise. And if you feel tension, that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you've been carrying something. And so we begin by being kind. If you were holding a frightened child, you wouldn't say, "Stop it, get over it, you're ridiculous." You would soothe them, you would hold them, you would say, "I'm here, you're safe, we'll figure it out." And that is how you must treat yourself. You are the one you've been waiting for. Now let's talk about the mechanism, because I want you to feel empowered, not mystical, empowered. A thought creates a feeling creates behavior, behavior creates results. If your thought is, "Nothing ever works out for me," your feeling might be hopelessness. From hopelessness, you might not try, or you might try with clenched desperation, or you might reject opportunities because you assume they won't work. If your thought is, "I am learning to trust life," your feeling might be openness. From openness, you notice possibilities. You speak differently. You reach out. You take one step. The same world, different vibration, different experience. So the first place we go is the thought. And the thought we choose is not a lie. It's not sugarcoating. It's an opening. It's a willingness. Willingness is a high vibration, and it sounds like, "I'm willing to see this differently. I'm willing to be kind to myself. I'm willing to take one step. I'm willing to believe life can support me." Willingness is gentle and strong at the same time. Now, there's something else I want you to understand. When people say your vibration attracts, they often imagine it like a magnet pulling objects out of thin air. But a more grounded way to understand it is this: when your inner state shifts, your perception changes, your decisions change, your boundaries change, your courage changes. You begin to act in alignment with what you say you want. You may notice the phone call you would have ignored. You may have the calm to respond instead of react. You may ask for what you need. You may rest when your body asks. You may stop chasing what doesn't love you back. These are vibration changes that create real results. And life can feel like it changes instantly because you begin living from a new center. Now let's bring this into the present moment in a very practical way. There are moments when you will not have time to sit quietly for an hour. You'll be in the car, you'll be at work, you'll be in the middle of an argument, you'll be lying in bed with racing thoughts. So we need a simple practice, something you can do in 10 seconds in one breath, something that turns the dial. I call it the tuning fork. A tuning fork doesn't argue with the room. It doesn't complain about the noise. It simply strikes its tone, and everything around it begins to resonate. You can become your own tuning fork, and the tone is love. Now let's do it together. Place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, and let your body know, I am here with you. Take a breath, slower than usual, and as you breathe out, let your shoulders soften, even just a little, and say quietly, either out loud or in your mind, in this moment I choose kindness. Notice what that does. Maybe nothing yet. That's okay. We are planting a seed. We are creating a new pathway. Now say, I am willing to feel safe. You may not feel safe right away. That's fine. You are willing. That's powerful. Now say, life loves me. Sometimes that sentence can bring up tears because the heart has been waiting for it. Let the tears come if they come. Tears are cleansing. They are not weakness. They are release. Now, I want to speak to the part of you that doubts. Some people say, but you don't understand my life. You don't understand what I've been through. You don't understand how hard it is. Oh, sweetheart, I understand that life can feel very hard, and I understand that change doesn't always happen on your preferred timeline. But I also know this, your inner state matters. And even if you cannot change the outer circumstances today, you can change how you meet them. And how you meet them determines what you do next. If you meet life with self-hatred, you will exhaust yourself. If you meet life with self-love, you give yourself a chance. And you deserve a chance. You deserve good things. Now let's deepen this, because sometimes people try to change vibration by jumping straight to big affirmations that their subconscious doesn't believe yet. They say, I am wildly abundant, while inside they feel terrified. And then the mind says that's not true, and you feel worse. So we build bridges. We choose thoughts that are believable steps. Instead of everything is perfect, we say, I am learning to trust the process. Instead of I never feel afraid, we say, I can hold myself kindly when fear arises. Instead of I am completely healed, we say, I am open to healing. Instead of I am always confident, we say, I am willing to show up. These are powerful because they don't fight you, they include you. Now let's talk about the vibration that changes everything in everyday life. How does self-kindness look when you're stressed? It might look like pausing before you send that angry message. It might look like putting your feet on the floor and breathing. It might look like saying, I don't have to solve my whole life today. It might look like eating something nourishing instead of punishing your body. It might look like speaking to yourself like someone you love. You see, your self-talk is your vibration, and many people don't realize how often they are cursing themselves quietly all day long. I'm so stupid. I never do anything right. What is wrong with me? I'm too much. I'm not enough. Every one of those is a vibration, and the body believes it. So we become aware, not to shame ourselves, but to choose again. The point of power is always in the present moment. So when you catch an old thought, you can say, this is only a thought. And then, I choose a new one. Now let's do a little exercise. Think of a recent moment when you were hard on yourself. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you didn't do what you said you would do. Maybe you looked in the mirror and criticized your body. Maybe you compared yourself to someone else. Just bring it to mind gently. Now notice what you said to yourself. And imagine saying those words to a small child. Would you say that to them? Would you want them to believe those words? Of course not. So why do you say them to yourself? Often it's because that is what you heard. That is what you learned. That is how you were trained. But you can train yourself differently, and you don't need to do it perfectly. You only need to do it consistently. Now here is a beautiful truth. Self-love is not a destination, it's a practice. Some days it will feel easy, some days it will feel like learning a new language. And on the hard days, the practice is not to be perfect. The practice is to be gentle. Now, let's go deeper into the instantly part again. When you are upset, there is often a moment where you are about to spiral. You feel it beginning. The mind starts racing. The chest tightens, the stomach churns, the old story rises. That is the moment to turn the dial. You don't need to wait until you're in full panic. You can interrupt it early with a simple phrase. Here are a few that I love. All is well in my world. I am safe in this moment. I am willing to release this. I choose peace now. Life supports me. I can handle this one step at a time. You can pick one, just one, and practice it like a friend's hand in yours. Now I want to offer a metaphor that may surprise you. Imagine your nervous system as a lake. When the wind is strong, the surface is choppy. You can't see clearly into the water. Everything looks distorted. The reflections are broken. That's what happens when you're anxious. You can't see life clearly. You interpret everything through fear. Now imagine the wind calming. The surface becomes smooth. You can see the bottom. You can see what's real. You can see what's there. That calm is vibration. And what calms the wind? Often it's not thinking harder. It's softness, it's breath, it's reassurance, it's kindness. So when you practice self-kindness, you are calming the lake. And then you can see the next step. Now, some people worry that if they are kind to themselves, they will become lazy. They think they need self-criticism to be motivated. But self-criticism doesn't motivate. It punishes. Love motivates. When you feel safe, you grow. When you feel supported, you risk. When you feel worthy, you take steps. When you feel loved, you try again. So being kind to yourself is not indulgence, it is intelligent. Now, let's talk about relationships, because vibration shows up there so clearly. If your inner vibration is, I'm not enough, you may accept crumbs, you may overgive, you may chase, you may fear abandonment, you may settle for people who can't meet you. If your inner vibration is, I am worthy of love, you begin to choose differently. You begin to communicate differently. You begin to say no. You begin to ask for what you need. You begin to walk away from what hurts. That changes everything. Not because you forced someone to be different, but because you became different to yourself. Now let's talk about abundance, because many people are hurting in that area. When you are afraid about money, the mind can become very tight. It can replay the worst-case scenario. It can predict disaster. And you might think, if I worry enough, I'll be prepared. But worry doesn't prepare you. It drains you. Preparation looks like practical steps and a calm mind. Calmness helps you make good decisions. So the vibration shift is not pretending you have money you don't have. The vibration shift is moving from panic to steadiness. I am willing to see solutions. I am open to guidance. I can take one helpful step today. I trust myself to handle what comes. That vibration creates better choices, and better choices create better outcomes over time. Now, I want to speak about the body because the body holds vibration too. Your body responds to your thoughts like a garden responds to water. If you water your body with criticism, it wilts. If you water your body with love, it thrives. And you don't need to wait until you love every inch of your body to begin. You can start with appreciation. I love my eyes for seeing. I love my hands for holding. I love my legs for carrying me. I love my lungs for breathing. Appreciation is a vibration. And as you appreciate your body, you begin to care for it more naturally, not from punishment, from love. Now let's bring in the mirror, because mirror work is one of the most direct ways to shift vibration. I want you to imagine standing in front of a mirror. You don't have to do it right now if you're not near one. Just imagine it. You look into your eyes, not into the flaws, not into the stories, into your eyes, and you say softly, "I am willing to love you." It might feel uncomfortable, it might feel silly, it might bring up emotion. That's okay. The mirror shows you the relationship you have with yourself. And when you begin to change that relationship, the world changes too. Because the world often reflects back the relationship you have with you. Now I want to pause here and offer compassion for the past. If you have treated yourself harshly, it's not because you are mean. It's because you were taught that love must be earned. But love is your birthright. You were born worthy. You were born deserving. You were born lovable. And nothing you did or didn't do takes that away. Now let's do a deeper practice together, one that you can return to whenever you feel lost. Close your eyes if that feels safe, or simply soften your gaze. Take a breath in and breathe out slowly and say, "I am here." Again, "I am here now. I am safe in this moment." Let your body hear it. Now, I choose to be on my own side. That one can change everything. Because so much suffering comes from fighting ourselves, from trying to force ourselves, from shaming ourselves. But when you choose to be on your own side, you become your own ally, and an ally creates strength. Now I want you to think of your life as a path through a forest. When you walk the same path over and over, it becomes worn. It becomes easy to follow, even if it leads somewhere you don't like. That's what your old thoughts are like. They are well-worn paths, but you can create a new path. The first time you take it, it feels unfamiliar. It might feel difficult. It might feel like you're pushing through tall grass. But each time you choose a new thought, the path becomes clearer. So don't judge yourself if your old thoughts return. That's just the old path being familiar. You gently choose again. Now let's talk about the most common low vibrations people carry, because naming them brings power. One is fear. Fear often says, something bad is going to happen. And fear often comes from not trusting life, or not trusting yourself, or both. So we soothe it. I am safe. I trust myself.